all of them were like in a row.
Yeah,
like he scored the first one. Oh yeah, throw it to him. Same thing. Then the last one was even crazy because I saw Max was like, he had his whole stand.
You had the eyes for your long.
And then he just shot it. He just turned around and just shot it. Like he saw Max like, I'm not even doing that. I'm bored.
Oh my God.
Fighting for his life.
I think I kind of told them like my grades were good enough, and I was like, yeah, this is really good out of 20. Like, trust me. And I think they did. Which I don't know if it's my word. They ain't do no research.
It could have been fraudulent.
The application was, I mean, absolutely. Turned out okay.
What do you feel like Jalen in particular, just playing with him?
Easily the most like skillful player I've ever played with.
Rocky would have made it to space if he was working on it.
He too tall to fit.
We would have been cooked, man. We would have been cooked.
We would have gone sideways.
Rocky to the ocean.
Before we get into it, a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Spindrift Sparkling Water. Spindrift is the only sparkling water in America made with real squeezed fruit, and the difference is immediately obvious the second you crack one open. Real taste, simple ingredients, nothing to decode on the label. Find your flavor at drinkspindrift.com. This is exciting. This is our last off day of the regular season. How we feeling?
As long as everybody else good, I'm good.
So when did y'all start hanging? What's the like? When did you? At what point in the season do you feel like you guys like really became cool?
I mean, I had to get cool with him because summer league, and then
Had to.
we also had like matching suits, like on our first, what was it, like press conference
I
with the
didn't see
Kings?
that. I thought you guys planned that.
We did not plan
So
that.
everybody thought
that was random.
Everybody thought we planned that.
But yeah,
Good taste.
great mind think alike, and then Precious came in a little bit later, so.
Yeah. I mean, I came in a little later. I know these guys already kind of spent a lot of time together. Summer league, draft, all that process, coming in. I joined the team a little later. So me and Max kind of first connected. My car wasn't out in Sac yet, so he would drop me off back and we'll have like good conversations. And I was like, you know what? Like he has his head on his shoulders, like, someone you could have regular conversations with. And then Nique, would talk all the time, his locker's next to mine. So, yeah.
Was that rookie stuff, or was that you being a friend? Or a mix of both?
I acted like a good friend, but it was also rookie stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't know
like,
Was this Sherman or was this I'm
No,
gonna give you a ride?
it was on my way home too,
Yeah, I
so
think
it
like
was
it
fine.
was he was just going off in the car. He was driving me, and I'm saying passengers. I'm like, okay, I hope you don't crash. I like pay attention.
You're like,
he was
is it-
just going off like, man, I can't. Like, this is what the NBA is like. Like, I feel crazy. This, that. Like, we're not even halfway through yet.
He just starts ranting to you. You're like, bro, I'll find someone else to drive.
Yeah, he was stuck with me for like 30 minutes. I was like, if I have an open ear, like I got to tell him all about it. But
That's funny.
no, it turned out he didn't hate me after that. So
We're gonna do a bunch of background with all you guys, but did you ever go to SAC when you were in school?
I did go one time. So because I'm from France, I don't really have time to go home for Christmas usually, because in college you get like a very short break.
Yeah.
And one of my teammates at the time, Issa Silva, was from Sacramento. So he just hosted me for Christmas. I met his family there, went to a game actually. I don't think we were scheduled for a Christmas game, but it must have been like the day before. So that was the one time I went. And then about 2 years later, got drafted there. So it was very unexpected, but at the same time, like a pretty cool story. So I already had some people there.
This is a dumb question because I feel like I should know the answer, but what's it, like 2 hours?
Yeah, 2
San
hours.
Fran?
Yeah, hour and a half.
It's like close enough. It's close enough that in theory, like, cause I remember when you guys were playing them in that playoff series, and it was a little bit like it's kind of like New York, Philly. Like it felt like a little bit. Like
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I mean,
Like that rivalry.
Yeah, like there
I'm
was.
gonna be like the old guy on the podcast,
The new old pop. The new OG.
Even if I'm not, I mean, yeah, like you said, we play, New York, Philly. It's about an hour 30, 2 hours, maybe a little over.
I have a suit question for going back to that for a second. What point did you all realize that was happening? Did you realize it same night? Did someone tell you?
No, we showed up. Like, we showed up to the press conference. I see Max in like a tannish suit.
Just like weird twins.
It was weird. I see. Well, I mean, first of all, I see like a shiny thing around his neck. He had like a dog chain. I was like, this guy is really locked in right now. But
Damn,
that's the first thing I saw. And then eventually, our suit were matching. But it looked pretty good on the pictures, honestly.
It's also you guys. There's a little bit of like it's a little like buddy cop because like you don't look alike. So like if you look too much alike, it would be.
Yeah, I look like Fufu a little bit more, honestly.
Absolutely not.
Max wishes he was light skinned.
I'm on my own on that one.
He wishes he was light skinned, man.
Light skin a little bit more?
You wish.
Bright skin.
I want to talk about Colorado Springs for a second. We're still go around the chain, but we'll start with Colorado.
Colorado Springs.
What was it like growing up?
It was.
Were you like outdoorsy?
Nah, I'm not super outdoorsy, honestly, but it's a beautiful place. A lot of outdoor activities if you do like that stuff. But we had a lot of people always in town just because the U.S. Olympic Training Center is there. So just things naturally happen in the city. But it's grown a lot since I was young. It's probably like it's almost as big as Denver now, so probably like close to 800,000 people. But it's a great place to grow up. A lot of family and friends still live there, so that's like home base for me. It's not known for basketball. Like it's a smaller town in that sense when it comes to basketball, but a great place to like raise a family and grow up.
What was your process like in terms of competition and just kind of like finding your game?
Yeah, I went to a charter school my whole life, so it was a smaller school. Everybody told me I wasn't gonna be able to make it. I'd have to go up to a bigger school or get out of state. But I just stuck with it, stayed there. Then I had a growth spurt like my sophomore year going into my junior year in that summer. And that's when I really started to get recruited. Once I got recruited, ended up going to Colorado and then transferred 3 years later to Colorado State.
My process. I want to ask about getting to Colorado, and then also is there like beef going from Colorado to Colorado State?
Oh man, yeah, I think I'm the only one to ever do that.
Crazy.
They hate me.
So all right, so why'd you go to Colorado? So you went to Colorado because Colorado's
they
like
don't like me no more.
That's like the flagship.
Honestly, it wasn't even like out of spite. Like it was really just the best option and best opportunity for me to get where I wanted to go. And obviously it worked out, but I mean, they recruited me out of high school as well. That was
Colorado
another one of my
another
one of my options. So they kind of just kept a good relationship with me over a course of time. Like we would see them at tournaments and different stuff, and they would always just like check in, like how you doing, like ask my family how they're doing. So it was just a little bit of that relationship that they kept with me that just stuck in my mind. And they were the first people to reach out once I hit the transfer portal, and it was full circle.
That's a good swipe for them.
Yeah.
That's
they good dudes for real.
But that team ended up being pretty good because Zay, who is a two-way for us right now, also was on that team, right?
Yeah, Zay was there too, and he actually like helped host me on my visit out of high school, which is wild.
I'm kind of curious, like when you felt like you learned to defend, and also just like when you basically like when you learned to play like you sort of are now, which is just kind of like balls to the wall all the time. Was that like were you different in high school? Did you have to kind of scrap as much?
I mean, yeah, I've always played similar. Like from a young age, my pops always taught me just to, try and play the right way, get my teammates involved, play both sides of the ball. So that's always been something I take pride in, is trying to be good on both sides of the ball. In high school, maybe a little less defense at times because you take on such an offensive load. But it's always been something I take pride in, is being a two-way guy.
So you were in Paris in the city?
Yeah.
What was how do you pronounce the school?
Henri IV, Henry IV, basically.
It was a really good school, right?
Say it again.
Henry IV.
Aliquet.
Henri IV. Henry IV.
Okay.
It was a pretty cool school. The one major difference with high school in the US, I think, was we don't have like a varsity team attached to our school. So it's usually you go to school like somewhere in the city, for example, and then your club is somewhere else. So just was balancing the two, but it's a pretty fun experience, honestly.
Hold on, there's no sports team attached to the high schools?
Not really. So you have a couple of like we call them like sports and study schools, like INSEP, which some people may have heard of, which is where like most national team train. But beside those schools, like 99.9 just have like PE and that's it.
Oh wow.
And it's you go there like pretty much the entire day. Like you don't really have that much time for like extracurricular activities. But then if you are good enough and you can like join a instructor outside, they really like you to like turn pro very early.
Okay.
So some people will just like pretty much like be done with school, you know, like very early age and then just fully come into basketball.
When did you turn pro?
No, I never did.
You just turned pro.
I mean, I just did. Like, yeah.
No, but they turned pro like 13 years old.
Yeah,
crazy. So but you never did that.
No, I never did that because back in the day, the NCAA was not allowing you to, you know, get paid or like be a professional before you came around. Now with an
But you could do that now though, right?
Exactly. So I mean, I probably would have done something different like in this landscape, but back then you kind of had to like, you know, like keep your eligibility, like do all that stuff. So I was not risking it.
When were you like, I'm going to play in college in the States?
I think the idea came around when I was 16. I did some national team events, and that's when like, you know, colleges started like reaching out for recruiting. And I really want to say it's around like COVID actually. Once our league shut down and like me and my parents sat down and were like, wait, actually, this whole thing can really be over just with an injury, with something outside of basketball, something you can't really control. So it could be smart just to go in the US and take full advantage of that, you know, like dual education and athletic thing going on. So that's around my junior, senior year. I was like, you know what, I wanna go overseas. I mean, yeah, overseas for me is like technically the US for you guys.
Had you been to the US at that point?
I've been one time when I was a kid, but I haven't been. I did my visit on Zoom. Like it was like a Google Map visit.
Huh.
Well, I have a question. So you're playing high school basketball. Well, you're going to high school in France, and then you have a club that you train with outside of school.
Yeah.
And then you get recruited straight from high school in France to Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
How did the transcript pattern work? Because I'm like, that's when you're talking about education, that's like the top cream of the crop.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think so. What we had to do was I had to get my I guess like teacher's notes or like recommendation letters, whatever. I had to get them like translated to like send them over to Stanford. And then our grading system is like a little bit different in France. Like here you have like, it's like out of 4, like so ABC thing. Over there it's like out of 20. So I think I kind of told them like my grades were good enough, and I was like, "Yeah, this is really good out of 20. Like, trust me." And I think they did, which I don't know if it was my word.
They ain't do no research.
I think they had a lot of belief in me there, but it worked out just fine. I didn't really worry about that part too much. I know I said my
kids don't try that.
Yeah, don't try that at home. Like bad idea. I also like sent my transcript like about like 3 weeks after like the
you could have been fraudulent.
The application. I mean, absolutely. Turned out okay. But, you know, great rewards.
Somebody.
No, I mean, you know, worked out fine in the end. But yeah, definitely that's a risk they took, which I appreciate.
That is crazy.
But it's a good question. Yeah, I think now they have to have like system to deal with that because so many guys from Europe and Africa
because
are coming.
Like I came overseas as well, kind of like the same situation as you, but I came a lot earlier. But then I went to high school, so now I get recruited. I got recruited by a lot of like really, really high caliber education school that focus on education. And I remember I was telling one of the coaches, don't recruit me because my plan is to go to school for 1 year. I remember I was in high school. And I was like, no disrespect. You know, I know you guys are huge in education, but I don't, you know, I want to get to the pros. I want to be in the NBA. And they're very serious about your grades. Like you got to have all these, you know, and I was not a bad student by any means, but it was just interesting that how serious and rigorous I know it is in the States going from high school to a school of that caliber. And then how they're able to translate your grades from overseas and accept that at Stanford. Like that's,
No, it's pretty special. And Honestly, to be honest, at least my experience, I feel like that transition from high school to college may be hard, but then once you're like on the other side of it, they have so much help around you. They have so many
100%.
tutors, like other students helping you out, etc. That they make it like very accessible, or at least like way more accessible than you thought it would be. So yeah, a little bit of a fraud.
How was like study hall? Did you have to like learn English?
Learn English is crazy though.
No, not learn, but like I'm not like. Of course you can communicate. Like
He really was just doing sleep classes.
I wasn't saying learn.
He was really just doing them sleep classes.
I wasn't saying learn. I was just saying more so like intricate communication, right?
Yeah.
There's like, so I grew up in Nigeria, right? I'll give you like, it's an English speaking country. That's our first language, right? So I moved to New York City out of all cities that any person could move to, which is the craziest place. And then, but there's still forms of communication that even if it's still the same language, you still have to adapt.
Yeah, it's cultural.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So I was more so referring to that.
No, 100%. And especially at that age, you also have like, like so many slangs and like whatever like the culture is at. I think it took me a little bit. The one thing that I was really lucky with was I moved there during the summer where only athletes were on campus pretty much.
Okay.
And so I was just with my team and I really got to, listen to way more English, speak way more English. And so that really helped me and put me in a position where I could communicate with the people afterwards. But it really took me about a year to, finally be able to speak my mind, communicate, and be understood too. Because I think my humor and like my sensibility to things was very different. You had to channel.
You only say the things that you really need to say, and then everything else you just don't say it because you don't know how it's going to get perceived by the next person.
100%. And it was also the same thing. Like you go from your basketball team for like 2.5 months to like your first day of class, and you realize very fast like these are two different environments.
Did you know? Did your family know sort of? Obviously, Stanford is a good school, but I think, did you know the sort of extent of what you were walking into, even just with the other students and everything?
I don't think I did, but it was a pleasant surprise. Honestly, it was those 4 years that turned out to be probably like, the best 4 years of my life up until that point. And I didn't know. We were expecting good things. We had a lot of ideas of like how it could turn out. But then the way the institution and Stanford as a whole like took care of us and took care of just our people in general was unbelievable and helped us a lot. We had many people in the staff really, in constant communication, kind of like Nique mentioned earlier, it was like my family, because for them it was, you can be 20 or 25, whatever. Say like, oh, like my mom was like, my baby's leaving the nest and I'm not going to see him anymore. So they did a really good job with this. And yeah, it was everything and more than I could ever hope for.
You were computer science and math?
Yep.
Double?
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yep.
I feel like that
that's crazy.
You got a basketball schedule, which is a borderline pro basketball schedule in that conference. And then those two together is, how do your days like line up?
I mean, they were pretty full, but I don't know. I mean, I think I'm kind of nerdy on the side, and like that was also like an interest of mine. So I didn't feel like it was a chore to do, if that makes any sense. I also had like a ton of help from the outside. Like, don't get me wrong, but that was also like the big struggle that I had my freshman year, was to like being able to organize your time and like prioritize what's important. And I feel like now that we're on the other side and like we're professionals, I feel like prioritizing like, okay, like, basketball, family, outside requests, taking care of your body, all this. So in the end, I think it really helped me a lot to adjust with pro life. But it was definitely a lot. But at the same time, I met some, great people while doing it. So
do you have a sense? I'm curious for all three of you, but with that major in particular, do you have a sense of like, say you wake up one day, you're like, I don't want to play anymore. Like with that major, like what job you would want to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like any kind of like STEM related job. I was really into like all the stuff like NASA were doing. We were actually like joking about it the other day because they were launching a rocket with a couple astronauts on it. So that was something, or that's the kind of project I would have loved to work on, I don't know if I have the skills for it, by any mean, but that's like a universe that really interests me.
So you're talking about Artemis? Or
Yes,
different-
exactly. Yeah, we're all watching that. What game was that? Toronto, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
Watching the
cool.
lines,
It's also, I just hope.
That rocket would have made it to space if he was working on it.
He too tall to fit.
We would have been cooked, man. We would have been cooked.
We would have gone sideways.
A rocket going to another state.
You screw it up for everybody else. It's like another 50 years before they try to go up again.
It's lost forever.
All right, quick break and shout out to our friends at Spindrift Sparkling Water. In basketball, the players who do things the right way tend to stand out over time. Fundamentals locked in, no shortcuts, just real skill built the hard way. Spindrift operates the same way. While most other sparkling water out there leans on artificial flavors and fake fruit essence, Spindrift is the only one in America made with real squeezed fruit. The full lineup includes over 20 real fruit varieties like lemon, blood orange tangerine, raspberry lime, island punch, mojito, and the newest flavor, Spindrift cherry, made with 2 types of cherries from Michigan orchards. Spindrift is also the only beverage brand verified under the non-ultra-processed food verified standard. So that means real ingredients, no artificial sweeteners or colors, and never ultra-processed. Just crisp, refreshing, sparkling water that actually tastes like fruit. Truly, once you taste the difference, everything else feels like a step down. I really love all the Spindrift flavors. You can't really go wrong. My favorite, though, at this point is raspberry lime. Fantastic. It's 70 degrees in New York today, where we're taping this from. Feels like summer. It's getting there. You can right around the corner. You can feel it. There's nothing better than a raspberry lime Spindrift on a nice summer day. Taste the Spindrift difference at drinkspindrift.com and take 15% off your first order with promo code YoungMan at checkout. That's drinkspindrift.com. So when you moved to Queens?
Yeah, so I moved to Queens when I moved from Nigeria.
How old were you?
I was 14 when I moved.
What was that transition? Nigeria is wild too. So
Nigeria
I feel
is very crazy. I mean, I have like 1,000 stories for New York City. You know, I remember my first day I moved, and Nigeria's pretty like a more tropical type of weather. And I landed at the airport. My brother came pick me up and all that kind of stuff. So, and as soon as I walked out, I'm like, oh my God, it's so cold. And mind you, this is fall. You know, I'm not even ready for what's about to happen, you know. So the next day I get to school and my brother takes me to school the next day. The day after that, the same thing. The third day, he's like, I take the subway. So I lived in Queens, but I went to school in the Bronx. So the third day, he's like, okay, we took the subway from Queens to the Bronx. You're going to have to figure it out. The next, figure it out where you got to take the subway the third day. Oh, okay, cool. So I get on the subway the third day. I'm headed to school. I'm following the same pattern, the same route. Mine just about an hour and maybe an hour and 10 travel time. I get off, I take the wrong subway. I get off at the stop that I'm thinking is the right stop. And I get out the subway station. I'm looking around. It looks nothing like where I'm supposed to be at. So now I'm like, okay, this is bad. So I see a couple people walking. Mine is probably like 8:30 in the morning. See people walking to school, or they're going to work. So I stop. This one lady, I'm like, excuse me. She looks at me, head to toe, keeps walking. So now I'm like, yo, something wrong with me? Like, do I look crazy, you know? So I kept walking. I stopped this one dude, same thing. He didn't even stop to look at me. He just kept going. So I stopped this other lady, and I'm like, hey, excuse me. I'm supposed to go on the Williams Bridge Road. That's the street my school is on. How can I get there? I think I took the wrong train, and I'm lost. And she says, go this way. When you get all the way to the end, you're going to see the sign. I'm like, okay, cool. So I start walking. Like, let me ask someone else just to confirm if I'm going the right direction. I asked someone else, like, excuse me, I'm going to Williamsbridge Road. They point the opposite direction. I got right back on the subway. But it's just, you know, it was crazy. So it's a huge culture shock.
It's
you know?
easy to take the wrong and then
Easy.
you get fucked up when that happens.
It's just a lot. I mean, I took the train all the way up until my freshman year of college, right? I came back home, I still took the train. And I still, I mess it up every once in a while.
Why'd you go to that school?
The reason I went there is because I played on the AAU team that was based out of the Bronx. So it was easier for practice. So after school, we had school practices, but then we'll have like AAU stuff, you know, play a lot in the Bronx. So it was easier for me to just, you know, go to school around there. And a lot of my teammates lived in the Bronx, and some of them went to that high school as well. So it was just more of a convenience thing.
Have y'all spent any time
divided
in Queens?
into what, 5 sections?
Yeah.
That's what it is?
New York?
It's like Manhattan,
so the
Bronx,
boroughs,
Queens.
like New York City is divided into 5 boroughs.
Yeah.
So it's Staten Island, where a lot of people don't really count. You have Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, Manhattan. Yeah, those are the 5.
Have y'all spent any time in Queens?
Mm-mm.
It's the best place. It's the best place to be in
Queens,
New York City.
I think legitimately Queens is the most diverse place in the world.
It's the best.
It has like
place to be
every
in New
kind
York
of
City.
food, every kind of like culture.
Do they all get along, or they hate each other?
Yeah, no, Queens is cool.
No, like I'm saying the different boroughs. They
don't like
each other, right?
No.
Because everybody be getting sensitive if you like from a different section.
Yeah.
And he's Staten Island. I mean, I feel bad, but Staten Island is like you gotta take a ferry to get there.
Yeah.
Like everywhere else is super close.
I mean, you could drive. Was like you're driving damn near to New Jersey and then coming back around.
Yeah, like
someone
needs to make a call. And they just got to make it its own thing.
Yeah,
like it's got to be a part of New Jersey or something.
Yeah.
The only time I've been there was the draft. The pizza fire though out there.
Oh, in the city, yeah.
Pizza fire.
And then
y'all
Brooklyn.
Y'all got some good pizza
about
though.
that actually. we went on the East Coast road trip, like I think right after the All-Star break, and there was like a massive a snowstorm, right? So we get stuck in Detroit, one more day, finally get to New York, and we're supposed to have like 2 nights there, but we end up just having one. So everybody's dinner's plan are kind of being shuffled around, like whatever. I text Nique, I'm like, hey, like, what are you thinking of getting of food? He's like, oh, I might get a little pizza. Like, I don't know, I'm not really hungry, but I heard New York pizza pretty good. I'm like, okay, bet. Like, just let me know whenever you get it. He's like, oh, I already got it. Like, it's here right now. I'm like, where you at? Elevator. I'm like, okay. I go meet him. Open the door. I'm talking a big ass pizza. It's just like triple XL style.
2 boxes.
2 boxes of them. I'm like, who is that for?
It was gonna be little, man.
He's like that for you. I'm like, no. Genuinely, like, could feel like the 6 of us, like,
for Joe's
my God.
pizza, Joey's.
Yeah, Joe's is good.
Joe's pizza.
Joe's,
Yeah.
that's what everybody recommends.
Joe's is good.
I gotta try it.
No, but you have to take
When
it.
I was at the draft, I
mainstream
walked
one.
by it.
I'm not gonna bash them on camera, but-
What's your spot? Joe's is like late night spot. It's like
Yeah, that's like if you're drunk.
Yeah, it's like
and
2 in the morning.
Like, you taking
need
a
to eat.
subway. You go
It's good.
to Joe's.
No, there was a 45-minute wait. Like when I was at the draft
Yeah,
and I
because
walked
it's-
by it, people was down the street for
He's
it.
right though. He's right. Listen,
like,
because
bro,
it's
it gotta be good.
It's like it's a what's one? It's a social media thing,
like a-
right?
It's like a brand. It's like
Yeah,
a brand.
it's
It's like
like a
Air One.
TikTok.
It's like Air One was LA.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it's
Same
the
one
same
of
thing.
those.
Yeah, yeah.
what's
I go to a spot in Queens, Reginald's.
I
Reginald's
never heard
Pizza.
of it. It's good.
It's right across St. John's University, right on Union Turnpike, and you cannot miss it. The
Queens
best.
definitely has a bunch of places like
It's the
that.
best. Queens has the best food in New York City, though.
Yeah.
like people don't even
There's a
realize
spot we'll
that.
go when you guys come back. Does you ever go to Lucali?
I know
Brooklyn?
Lucali. Of
Lucali's
course.
is really-
Lucali's.
Lucali is another one. That's the one.
Italian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like it's all cash. It's like
Yeah.
deep Brooklyn.
It's like old Italian.
Yeah,
like,
it's like they don't do reservations. They
Yeah.
don't serve anything
Yeah.
but pizza.
Yeah.
So you go there and it's like you just like if you go there, like I went there with Mikhail once, and
Oh yeah.
and he's super lactose.
Oh,
So you can't
yeah,
eat
you can't.
cheese.
You can't.
So
yeah.
he was literally like lactate slice, lactate
man.
slice. Like he just is a. But it's kind of like it's that good that you actually would want to
Yeah,
go.
I've been to Lucali.
Yeah, you would
yeah,
actually like
yeah.
want to do it. But
Down
why'd
for
you
that.
do Monteverde?
To be honest, so after I left the school in New York City, I went to school in New Jersey. And at the time, I went with my AAU teammate, and we kind of like played together since I first moved to the state on the same team. I'm talking about AAU. So when I went to the school in New Jersey, we became teammates for the first time, both AAU and high school. So it was 3 of us on the same teams. So it was easy, did the same thing every day, whatever. But then he left and he was going to IMG the following year. So our senior year, he was going to IMG. And I was like, I don't want to be here by myself. If I'm gonna stay out of school in New Jersey, I want to be able to play with good players and compete at a really high level, So Monteverde, I was like, I want to go to Monteverde. And they were already calling. So that was kind of how that
Who was your team?
I had, it was myself, Cade Cunningham, Moses Moody, Derek Whitehead, Bosa Kaprovica, Ryan Nemhard. Yeah.
Because I was asking because we did an ep a couple weeks ago with Cooper and Ryan, and they were going through their Monteverde teams. First of all, they were like, we didn't lose any games.
Yeah.
They said like straight up didn't lose any games in like 2 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But then you name the people and you're like, oh, that's a pro team. Not like it's a good college team. Like you're like, yo, that's like.
It could be college team down there.
That's what I was asking. 100%. I was like, you could beat a bunch.
Mind you, Precious was already like 6'8", 270 pounds at the time. So it helps a lot.
Yeah, when you got grown men.
Yeah, we had a good team. Oh my God.
Scotty Barnes was.
Then Scotty came the year after me.
Yeah.
So then after Scotty left, him and Kay, then it was Jalen Duran. And then after Jalen Duran was Cooper Flagg.
And Queen.
And then after...
Derek Queen.
Derek Queen went there. And then after Cooper Flagg, then it was... what's the kid at... I think... What's it called? Went there, right?
Achiuwa went there.
Yeah, some of the kid went there.
I think he was there with them, with those guys. Because they had... Guys? With Derek and Cooper, because they were saying
yes. McNeely.
Yeah. Because their thing was like, they had like an all-star team. They didn't lose in high school, and then Cooper went right to college and had Khan and So he went like stack to stack, like he just was.
Yeah, Monteverde had because before I got there was Ajay Barrett. It was Ajay Barrett. It was Andrew
Ben
Nemhard.
Siemens was on there too.
Ben was there 2 years before Ajay Barrett.
Yeah.
And then after Ajay left, I came. Cade, and then Cade, Scotty, and then Jalen Duran, and then Cooper. So they had like a 7-year run of just...
But let me ask you this, though. What is... I mean, for like a European that doesn't really know like the whole system in high school in the US, how is it that like they were able to like just recruit so many players? Like it feels like it's like almost like they're recruiting for college, right? You know what I'm saying?
To be honest, looking back, I don't even know how I went there.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone decides to go there. First off, like I'm not bashing Monteverde Academy. It's like, it's the reason why I think it plays a huge role why we're all pros, but it's just the way they recruit based on reputation, right? So they go, well, we had Joel Embiid here. We had Ben Simmons here. We had, Ajay Barrett. You go down the line. So they come up to you coming out of high school like, hey, look, this is the history that we've had with players that come through here and they've turned this way. Why not give it a shot? So even if you're the number 1 player in the country or number 2, number 3, or whatever the case is, you're like, you know what? Someone that was ranked higher than me went there and is now a pro. I should probably go there.
Do you think some of it is also like it's in the middle of nowhere?
That's
so you can focus.
That's why I said I don't know why anyone goes there.
Like it's not in Miami Beach. Like it's in the most random part of Florida.
It's in the middle of nowhere, literally.
Where's IMG at?
That's like Tampa. That's IMG's lit.
IMG's also different because IMG, from at least my understanding of it, is like other sports too. Like they do tennis.
Have you been in that campus?
In IMG now.
Oh my God.
That looks like a college pro campus.
My
I mean,
God.
Yeah.
I find that to be like less like what's cool about Monteverde or like Oak Hill used to be like that in Virginia. Is like it is this random place in the middle of nowhere with just this weird all-star team.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like it shouldn't
be there. Like,
but it also does make sense because it is like you have nothing else to do.
You get isolated.
But you're still doing school and all that.
You do like school. No. So the school originally, from my understanding, was designed to be a correction school. So that's like for bad kids. Yeah. They're saying bad kids in the middle of nowhere. They just focus on school and it's like military, literally. and then somehow became a basketball
They pivoted.
powerhouse.
They were like, we can make more money doing basketball.
It's like they make so much money doing basketball, like he just said. It's crazy. Like
It's almost like
they
a
don't
boarding
charge
school.
the top players money to go there.
But bro, the coach was a legend though.
I kid you not. It'll be like they have varsity, then they have a team nationals, then they have like varsity 1, 2, 3, and then they probably have like 10 teams. But 8 out of the 10 teams, the students pay to go there.
Really?
And you're talking about people from like Asia, China, Brazil, like different parts of the world, because it's a boarding school as well. So they send the kids there, and the kids go to school, play sports, pay to play sports and pay to go to school, and then stay on campus as well.
I mean, I feel like if you just bring like 100 kids every year, like naturally you'll get better because like you kind of want to like, you know, stay on top of the food chain. If you're like,
I mean, 100%. But they do a good job of recruiting. You know, really, really good job. I don't know how well they're doing right now, but I mean, they did a good job.
Who's the best player you played in high school?
Best player I played against in high school?
Or like with, but who's the person in high school you were like, you could tell like right away they were going to be a pro?
Man, I played against a lot of people where I thought they were pros, but none of them are pros. You know, maybe in different leagues. But I mean, in the Northeast, the first person that comes to my mind is this, you know, Scotty Lewis. I don't know if you know Scotty Lewis.
Yeah, I used to watch him.
Oh my God. Like, I remember it was him and this other guy, Brian Antoine.
Mm-hmm.
They were so tough, like elite. I remember I first came over from Nigeria, then I walked in the gym, and it's the first time I'm seeing this ever. Kid you not. You know one of those basketball courts, AU, I don't know, like if you've seen one of those, like they have 10 courts in the building.
Yeah.
But it feels like, and there are other games going on, but it feels like there's no one else watching no other game. And everyone is just around this place. So I go in and I'm looking, and these dudes are doing like the craziest things. I'm talking about like at 15 years old, windmills and between the legs and jumping from the free throw line. I'm like, oh yeah, I got no shot. You know? But like, for me, those are like pros, you know, right away. You know.
When do y'all feel like
crazy
the three of you, because obviously the paths are different, like when do you feel like you sort of like inherently were like, not like I'm going to make it for like 100%, because a lot of luck still has to go into it, but like you feel like confidence-wise, you're like, oh, I can be a pro?
I wasn't until my senior year of college.
Till Colorado State?
Yeah. Like I was up and down at Colorado. Like I wasn't getting looked at. But my senior year,
you went on like a crazy run in the tournament, right?
Yeah, we had a good season. Started to get noticed a little bit, and then played well in the tournament as well. And that's when I really started to get some buzz, was that year. So then I was like, okay, this actually could be a reality. But like you always believe it growing up. Like, oh, I feel like I could be an NBA player. Like I know I'm talented enough. But you don't actually know that's gonna happen until you actually get some buzz around your name. So mine wasn't really to my senior year for real.
Every time I thought I was going to make it, I got reminded I was not. So like the first time I did national team was under 16 European Championship. I was like, shoot, I'm national team. Like a lot of big names came through here. Like I'll be good. I ended up playing like 5 minutes a game the whole tournament. I'm like, all right, not good. Then a couple of years later, I'm playing the preseason with the pros. I'm training with Victor Wemby, who was on our team. I'm like, oh yeah, like preseason with the pros. Like, yeah, I think I have a shot at it. Like, I'll be good. First 4 practices, like, I mean, like every time I touch the ball, just turn it over. I'm like, all right, never mind, it's not for me. Then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to college. Like, maybe I have a chance for it. Very first practice, we do some like dummy offense, just like, you know, learn to play. I get bobbed on the rim. I'm like, all right, just my life is terrible right now. Keeps on going, and then eventually, like, just turned out okay. Like junior, senior year, got here, and I was leading the ACC in rebounds, and I think I was like top 5 or top 10 in the country my senior year. First in the country in double-doubles, like broke some record at Stanford. I was like, at least I can grab some boards in the NBA, right? I come in, I kid you not, like for the first like 5 or 6 practices, like I did not get 1 rebound. Like Domas was just getting everything. And I was like, yeah, I'm really not made for this life. And then, it's just every time I think I have like a little bit for, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, it might start to go well. It just, no, go back down. And so it just keeps you humble, you know? And then, well, eventually it's working out okay now, but Jesus, like it's, to this day, I don't know how I'm here.
Did you have a moment, we'd always do the welcome to the NBA thing, but like, did you have a thing with an opponent with that in the NBA?
Jonas Valanciunas. It was so bad.
I remember that game.
It was so bad.
That was a good one.
Let me tell you something.
I had a great angle of that one.
Before the game, Steph, so he's one of our video guys, showed me the clip. He's like, look, as soon as JV come into the game, they're going to run this ATO play. It's like a cross screen. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to post up. Like, you know it's coming. Like, yes. He comes into the game. I see the cross screen coming. I'm like, all right, I got it. Like, push him out. He catches the ball at the break, like the 3-point break, right? 1 dribble, chest. 2 dribble, chest. He took me, just pushed me out of the way, did not even care to dunk the ball, just laid it up over me. I felt like a baby. It just like, I was like, I cannot do anything against this.
That play.
He genuinely just walked me to the rim, took me, pushed me, and just laid it up. I was like,
he picked you up.
No, well, I mean, okay, well,
I was on the bench. I'm telling you, this
yeah,
man.
we were talking about it. We were out the game.
This man picked him up. Max was 2 feet in the air
and then laid the ball.
And then when your own teammates are telling you this, you cannot feel confident about your own abilities. And so he says that. And after the game, our assistant GM goes up to me. He's like, Max, you got to stand your ground. I'm like, there's no ground to stand on right now. Like, I can't do nothing. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, your defense, that's a big dude.
I mean, dude, it could, yes. And then the craziest thing is that he didn't even have a crazy game. He probably had like 8.4 rebounds. And you look at Jokic.
Points?
But those 8 points loud.
But it was like
me too.
Probably
back to back.
It was like all of them were like in a row. Like he scored the first one. Oh yeah, throw it to him. Same thing. Then the last one was even crazy because I saw Max was like, you know, he had his whole stand.
You had the eye for your long.
And then he just fighting for it. He just turned around and just shot it. Like he saw Max like, I'm not even going. I'm bored. He just shot it.
Oh my God.
Fighting for his life.
That was bad, man.
That's hilarious.
How was the Joker experience?
Well, the craziest thing is that Yo gave you like 30, 15, and 12, whatever, but it didn't physically hurt you as much. So like it sucks because you look up and you're like, yeah, he's probably the best player in the world at that moment. But I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know,
I didn't left like,
you should feel good. We won that game. Feel good about yourself.
One of the first
that was early,
in
right?
Denver. We won that game in Denver.
When Russ played well.
Yeah.
I remember that game.
Yeah. Oh, Russ revenge game, baby.
Yeah.
Get hyped.
Joker, it also feels like he's so comfortable all the time that he just picks his spots.
So easy.
Like if you're playing him in a high leverage situation, it's a little bit different because then he's going to start trying to push you around. But he just is like you won't even think he's having a good game, and it'll be like 28, 15, 12.
Literally.
Like
Now the way
and
he
he
can
doesn't
control the game.
Oh yeah,
it's insane.
Every time he touches the ball, something good happened. But the craziest thing was he goes about his day, he goes about his business. Like he doesn't talk too much to you or anything. Like after JV did that, he started like chuckling and like running back, like kind of sideways like this. That's what upset me the most. But
did you have one?
Shoot, D-Book, low-key gave me some problems. Man, I'm used to college where I could put my hands on people. I'm putting my hands on D-Book, man. It's blowing that whistle right away. So I pick up 3 quick ones. I'm out of there. Like, I'm just looking for my sub. I'm like, dang, bro. Swear I'm not fouling. But those dudes are just so high level and professional at like drawing fouls. So that was something I had to adjust to. James Harden, same thing. But my probably moment was like, low-key, I think it was, I don't know if it was the same game, but it was one of them Denver games. I got on an isolation with Jamal Murray. And like being from Colorado, I had so many people there. So I'm like, I'm trying to have a good game. I get the ice on Jamal Murray. I'm playing the best defense of my life. I like keeping him in front, chesting him, making him turn back and forth. Like the crowd's all like standing up. It got really loud. And he just hit a tough bucket on me. Like step back, jumper last second. I'm right there. Should have blocked it. cash. And I was like, dang.
He hit
Right in front of all my family.
We talk to Cam about that all the time. He'll hit some one-legged threes where you were like,
oh my gosh.
Talk about like tough shots. It's like a 27-foot running one-legged three.
It really just
like
hurt
physically
my soul.
doesn't seem like it should make any sense.
No.
It was like, it really just showed me that was the first moment I was like, it don't matter how good a defense you play. Like, dudes in this league are just that good that they might just make some tough shots on you. But yeah, it definitely hurt in front of all my family and friends.
Have you had one with Vic?
I mean, a couple. I think there are times where for him it's more like you can contest as high as you want. Like there are times where I know he's gonna shoot it. I see him about to shoot, so I jump early to trying to get as high as I can, and like you barely get to see his elbow when he's shooting his jump shots. So that's crazy, but not as like starstruck by any means. Just because I mean I've been playing against and with him for a while now, so not necessarily the same. But I mean he's for sure unreal. Like, I mean, every single day, it's like, I think like 14, 13, like 26 minutes the other night. Like, it's kind of crazy.
The minute thing is, we were talking about that earlier. It's like he puts those stat lines up and then you look and you're seeing like, oh yeah, he played 22 minutes and he did that.
But I think the most amazing thing is like his like plus minus. Like every single time we played him, it's like a plus like 30 or something, plus 25. And it's like just the way he impacts the game, like offensively and defensively even more. It's like, just winning. That's just what's going on with him. Just winning.
When did you guys first meet?
So I think the very first time we like ran into each other we were probably like 12. It was like a small tournament in Paris.
Somebody told me he was 6'9" at 12 years old.
Oh, probably even taller than that. I mean, he's been super tall. Kind of freakishly skinny at the time, but that's the first time we met, and then we played against each other up until we were 15. He actually beat me in the national championship final. And then the next summer, we did national team together. And a year after that, I joined his team. And so that's when we started like getting like much closer. And then started his pro career. I went to college and then reunited here in the US. But yeah, it's been pretty cool, honestly. To witness that firsthand, and also like to be close with the guy. I mean, like even before and outside of the whole basketball thing is just, I mean, great dude to be around.
Yeah. What's interesting with him, I met him before the draft. I think I met him a couple months before the draft, and I'm like 18 or whatever at that point. First of all, speaking about perfect English, like he just is super wise beyond his years. Like you kind of knew basketball wise with that skill set that he was going to be really good. But I think so much of why he's done it so fast is just it's like the composure and the poise and like the mental side of things.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the advantage of like the European upbringing gave him, is that very quickly he was put with the pros. So I think he behaved like one early on and he acted like one early on. Like for a dude his size, like most of like, young coaches would tell you like, yeah, like don't handle the rock as much. Like don't try to shoot like 40 footers yet, like do something else. And I think he always had this, confidence and like always thought about his development, that he was like, I have to keep doing that if I want to get to the level I want to get to. So that's what works really well for him. And I think, he's, confidence is what really drives him the most.
What do you feel like you learned in Miami and Toronto?
I mean, Miami really teaches you how to be a pro. I think structurally might be the best structure in the NBA. I mean, I don't know about, people always say San Antonio. I couldn't tell you because I haven't had a conversation with someone from San Antonio. But Miami structurally teaches you how to be a pro. Be on time, do XYZ, how to do XYZ. And teaches you how to play the game. I mean, for me, my rookie year, it'll be after every game, had to analyze the entire game. So you were forced to watch the game, rewatch the game, and then you had to write a report on what your analysis was on the game. So it's basically like I'm back in school, like I'm back in college. But at the time I hated it. But by my third, fourth year, I understood like, okay, it was things that's happening in the game where I could see, all right, that's happening. I know that's gonna cause this to happen. It's just like you process the game a lot faster, especially for someone that started playing basketball a little later. But just that alone, just the structure of analyzing the game, structure of how to become a pro, how to be a pro, you learn that fast from Miami. A lot of guys don't succeed there. It's just what it is. But yeah, Toronto was more so laid back, chill, kind of similar to Sacramento in a lot of ways. In terms of the approach, the organizational approach to it. Still had to be a pro, still has to like do what you had to do, but the organization as a whole is a little more laid back, very family oriented, very togetherness in that aspect, in that regard. But yeah, I mean, those two places, I mean, they're different in a lot of ways, but they have similarities as well.
What about when you got to New York?
New York is just business. New York is, hey, we're trying to, especially like I got on the team when the team wasn't good, and then we started to win a bunch of games.
Right away.
It was like no expectations at all. It's like, hey, we're just gonna try to beat New York, the media, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. I mean, they've been to the playoffs a couple years before, but up until that point, they haven't had as much buzz. I don't want to like take anything away from like teams before because you have Melo was there, a lot of great guys were there playing, J.R. Smith and all those kind of guys, but not up until 3 years ago, 3 seasons ago, if you're counting from this season back, was that it was like, okay, this is like where we could turn the corner to win. So it was a lot of like business forward, not necessarily development, not necessarily how can we get the young guys to be better, not necessarily, a 5-year, 3-year plan is right now. Now you see that in their approach, to how they've kind of handled the last 3 seasons.
They also have I guess the Lakers have this too, but it's like the fishbowl thing.
Yeah.
Every time they lose, people are going crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like you got to be ready to.
You got to be ready to like deal with that. New York is the biggest market maybe in the world even, and you have the New York Knicks, which is kind of like in the center somewhere around all of that. So you kind of got to handle that. It comes with a lot of good, it also comes with a lot of bad. New Yorkers, they're not afraid to say whatever they feel. They're gonna see you in person. All the fan base that kind of say it online. New Yorkers, they see you in person, and they say it to you.
Bro, they don't 100% do. It's crazy. They'll shout it at you.
They'll shout it at you. You suck. You're not good.
Playoff videos, man.
Oh
crazy.
yeah, like we went playoff
right outside.
Oh my
gosh.
That's the thing. If New Yorkers like you, if they rock with you, you would know. For me, it was a great experience. Like I would never trade that. Growing up in Queens, growing up in the city, playing back in New York and playing on a team that's really good. When I go places, I'm walking on the street even. It's like, yo, like, keep going. Like, it's just like one of those type of things. Like it embraces you, embraces the team. But yeah, those playoff experience, nothing I've ever seen before. You couldn't leave Manhattan for an hour after the game. There's 1,000 people outside of Madison Square Garden, maybe 5,000, and they're doing the craziest things you could ever think about.
Climbing up on light poles.
Were you there when they had this like big like rivalry with Atlanta and like the whole,
No,
like,
that was 2 years before I got there.
That was before you got there? At that time
that was my rookie year,
insane.
my rookie and sophomore year, I think.
My whole Instagram was just flooded by some dude in like a Spider-Man suit, just, I don't know, screaming and talking.
What's funny? Trey, Atlanta beat us to go to Vegas, I think it was last season, and we were winning that game. I'm talking about we were up like 20-15 at halftime, something crazy like that. They somehow came back and won that game. And Trae Young rolled the dice in the middle of the Garden. That was like a big thing, like, like it's like you just don't do is a no-no, so yeah.
No, the Indy's been the one the last couple of years.
Yeah, man. Indy, Achilles heel. For whatever reason, we beat all the good teams. I mean, not taking anything away from them. They obviously went to the finals, but you beat the teams where you think are gonna be more like a bigger competition, bigger threat. We go in the year before, we beat Philly in Philly, and then the year after, everybody talks about Detroit, how, they're a really good team. And then we go to Detroit, we beat Detroit. And then Boston, we go to Boston, we win game 1 and 2. So now it's like crazy. It's like, okay, this is the year we're going to the finals. And we're playing OKC. Like, we felt like we had a great matchup against OKC. And then here comes Indiana with a different style of basketball from everything else that we've seen. Super high, fast-paced basketball. We're more so like methodical with the Knicks, the team that we had now is super high-paced type of basketball, and it's just really, really tough to contain. So, yeah.
What do you feel like Jalen in particular, just playing with him?
Unreal.
He has a lot. He has so many big shots.
He is easily the most like skillful player I've ever played with. Like, he makes the craziest shots, you know what I mean? Like you just said, he'll make, if we're down, let's say if it's a close game, right? And this is why, like, I feel like I play really well in close games, just because, like, I've been in a lot of those. Like, in New York, we were always in those. We were down, if it's a close game, and whatever, 115 with 1 minute to go. We probably lost, in 2 years, we probably lost 2 of those. And we were probably like 20 of them. It's just, he just knows how to manipulate that crunch time, and he knows how to position everyone. And we all kind of also know how to play off of each other. Him, Josh, OG, those guys. So his repertoire offensively is, probably one of the best in the league. I put it up there, a lot of the guys that we talk about offensively.
What have you guys? What have you learned from, in particular, Russ and DeMar this year?
Don't leave the bus without asking if they need something.
That's definitely one. Bring your backpack.
Bring your backpacks. No, I think competitiveness and professionalism. To be very honest, I was telling Zach about it during the preseason games. I think in all 4 preseason games, Debo probably combined like a total like 10 points, like 12 points. I was like, is this like a top scorer in the NBA? Like, there's no chance. And the very next day, our first game of the year, I think he had like 28 or 30, something like that. And I turned around to Zach, I'm like, oh, he can just turn it on. He was like, yeah. I think their ability to reset their mind and compete night after night after 17, 18 years is unbelievable. And having that mental sharpness and mental focus over and over again is something that for me I admire a ton. Like, after a whole season, I already feel like washed, and they've been doing it for 18 years and competing at such high level. That's really something I want to take away from them.
No, I definitely agree exactly what he said. Just their professionalism, the way they show up every day, they got their routines. Debo got his same routine every single. I go back at night and shoot every night in the summertime. Debo there every night. I'm there. So you just see like the work that he puts in translating on the court. He doing the exact things that he work on in practice at when he's shooting at night, like those same things straight to the game. Eating habits, like talking with Russ about some of the eating habits, like he got a great diet. He always eating like fruit and different stuff that, I feel like that's why his body is able to be as great as it has been over the course of his career. Just all those different things, I think definitely I've taken a lot from. And then just them teaching us certain things of like how to draw fouls. I feel like Debo's probably one of the best almost ever probably to draw fouls. And it's an art. And it's something I didn't know, like, coming out of college. Like, I'm still learning it, but, it's easy ways to just get points and strategize how to put your team in position to win games. So, a lot of different things they've taught us over the course of this year.
I saw this stat, biggest on-off court swings among defensive guards this season. D. White's 1, Caruso's 2, your 3.
What is it?
Biggest on-off court swings among defensive guards this season, which is it's a stat that is good for you. I mean, it's good company.
Yeah, sound good.
It's good company. It's good company to be in.
Yeah, it sounds like some good
But
dudes.
I'm
man.
curious, like, you know, for you two in particular, because like we talk a lot about like the rookie wall and just the, wearing down over time, but it feels like you guys the last couple months have picked it up even on like an individual level. What you feel like you've learned, like what's gone right for you two, really since All-Star break, like because the level has raised like significantly.
For me, I always said, like, I'm not gonna hit that rookie wall. Like, fuck that rookie wall. Like, I'm not going. Everybody talk about it. I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not going for it. So that was something I always like just had in my mind from the beginning of the year. Like, I'm not gonna hit it or whatever they want to say about it. So my mentality helped me, I feel like, get through the course of this year, even as there was times I'm tired. But I was talking with Max the other day about it too. Like, for him, it's been more impressive because he's been playing, like, since the beginning of the year, a lot of minutes. So for me, early on, I wasn't playing a bunch. Like, it'd be sporadic. Some games I played 15 to 20. Some games I played like 7 minutes. So it wasn't as much for me early in the year. But by the All-Star break and by like the time we had some injuries early in the season, like that's when I really started to see my time increase. Some of my role was a little different, going from like an energy defensive guy to, being on ball a little more, being able to be in some actions and create plays for others. So just my role, I think, changed a little bit. And then the amount of time I started to get was, I feel like, what kind of helped me get better over the course of this year.
Well, I think I kind of hit it right before All-Star break, to be honest, at least mentally. I think physically, I could still go out there and like, play and not feel like I was that gassed, but mentally it kind of felt like games were not games anymore. It was just, you had to show up every day, and it wasn't the right approach. So I think, resetting around that All-Star break was really good for me. And then being able to simplify everything. I think I was very worried coming in about, what the expectations were, about dealing with the basketball side, dealing with, the outside noise, all the media and stuff. And also coming into a new team, you go from, being a senior, having that certain role, and now being a rookie. So I was really, getting caught up in all this. And I think I just simplified it all in the second half of the year. And Russ talked to me a lot about all this also. He kind of told me, look, like, there are only 2 or 3 things we really need you to do on the court. And like, as long as you do that part right, everything else will follow. So that's what I try to do. And then kind of like, as Nique said, like, once the success and like the minute kind of follow, at least individually, you kind of feed yourself of that. So that's what worked for me. I guess also started taking like more care about, kind of what you eat, when you sleep, like the recovery and stuff. And that's what's been going on. But now, yeah, I mean, still hard to do, I feel like. I mean, that's the most basketball I've ever played in my life. So, still had to be dialed in.
We'll sort of wrap with this. I'm curious, just from, all 3 of your perspectives. Obviously, you have a little bit of a different perspective than these guys, just with more experience and sort of a longer journey. But there's parts of the year that have sucked. Obviously, you'd want to win more, but there's also individual parts that have been good. So I'm kind of like, if you're to look back at like a lesson, a thing you've enjoyed about this year, like a part of the process that you've enjoyed, is there anything that like stands out?
I mean, for me, I would say just from a playing standpoint, right? Just being able to like explore aspects of my game. That's something that I think the last time I was able to do that was my second and third year in the league. Then after that, obviously I've always been on a team that's made the playoffs. So this is the first time where it's tough, you know what I mean? But my second and third year in the league, I was able to explore my games, and we were teams that we were winning a bunch of games. But then you come to a team like New York City where the goal is a championship or nothing. There is ways that you have to play. And there are things that you have to do. There are things that you can do, but you shouldn't do, you know. And it's a lot more rigid that way. But here, I think I've been able to, like, you know, see my game flourish in a lot of ways that I know that I'm able to, you know, play, you know. So, yeah.
Are there things that you guys will look at as like a lesson or two that you'll take away?
I mean, I try to view it as a positive, like, you know, starting at rock bottom, honestly. It can only go up for us, I feel like. Being one of the worst teams in the league, like, that's not what I expected coming in my first year. So I feel like it's good to start at rock bottom because I can only get better as individual and as a team. So I try to view it as that. But then honestly, just looking at it from the lens of like, yeah, it sucks we lost, but it also gave me opportunity to just play a lot and get adjusted and used to the NBA. Playing through mistakes, I got a lot of opportunity to do that. Got, you know, a longer leash than probably most rookies would get. So I try to view that as a positive. And, you know, I think that's the biggest thing is just being able to play through mistakes, learn a lot this year, and just grow from that going into this summer of knowing what I need to get better at and how I can improve.
I'll double down on that. Only way to go is up from there. And then clearly, as you mentioned, I mean, I understand like the situation in which it happened. Like, we had a lot of injuries and stuff, but I do want to take a little bit of pride by starting with some DNPs and then ended up starting games at the end of the year. But as he said, and I think that's completely right, just being able to play through mistake and experience maybe more than what a rookie should experience in his first year. So if you can get like, you know, like 2.5 year worth of experience within your rookie year, then you're already ahead of like most of your peers, like once you hit your second year. So, you know, taking advantage of that. And then obviously from there, the only expectation is to get better and have like a better overall record, like coming into next year, right? So just the light at the end of the tunnel, just keep striving for that. And also really grateful for like all the people we ended up meeting this year. Like, if you told like a 10-year-old me, like I'll be ended up playing with like Russ and Debo, like I would never have trusted you, right? And then, yeah, just all that opportunity, really.
I mean, I think there's also a lot of joy playing basketball. I mean, this year, like I said, I've been on a lot of winning teams and it hasn't been as fun. You know, our record does not reflect the way, if you like, the camaraderie of everyone, you know, the camaraderie of everyone, rather. My record doesn't reflect that, but it's just that joy of like, hey, you know, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna give our best, and we enjoy being around each other. You know, it's not always like that everywhere else. I'm gonna just leave it at that. You know what I mean? So yeah,
it's a good way to close it out. Thanks, fellas.
Thank you, sir.